Mental Health Day. We've been told that our mental health is a basic human right. That's a theme from the WHO this year. So today I am pleased, very happy to be joined by one of our favorite specialist psychiatrists, Dr. Sedu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
First of all, your shoes are lovely.
Thanks. Yours too.
Oh, thank you. We can trade.
No problem.
Today is World Mental Health Day.
Yeah.
We've had so many conversations about mental health, but today I found out a new one, that your mental health is a fundamental human right. What does that mean?
It means just like everybody else, you deserve to have a complete holistic health status. Because to be healthy means your physical, mental, and social well-being, not just the absence of disease.
I think they taught us that in JHS. Is that a definition from WHO? Or
WHO definition of health. So it means there's no health without mental health. And mental health itself is it's a state of complete well-being, which involves your ability to realize your potentials, cope with normal daily stresses, and contribute positively to the society.
Let's break it down.
Okay.
Like down, low. Every time we have conversations about mental health, we talk about mental health and we use a lot of, technical terms. Yeah. But really, I've read recently that all of us, you and I, and everybody in the world,
yes,
is prone to depression.
Okay, thank you very much for that question.
I'm not. So this is something I have read.
Okay.
If this is true, then how can I, during my day-to-day activities with all the problems that life presents, how can I assess this human right, which is to have a good mental state? Okay,
so from the first part, you rightly said we are all genetically predisposed to developing any of the mental illnesses, all of us. What will precipitate it is what we may not know. And as one of my mentors said, there's a thin line between sanity and insanity. So just like every day, have you ever come to a point where you were so angry with a friend or a colleague and you start shouting at the person before? Has it ever happened to you before?
Not a friend or a colleague. I usually drive in traffic.
Good. At that point, if you should continue, we would have said you've crossed some line. But we all cross it and come back to what is expected all the time. We don't stay on the other side of the line. It is when you stay on the other side of the red line for a longer period, specific durations, that we say you have a diagnosis that will need treatment. Now, for us, we all need to have mental health, which is able to cope with the daily stresses of life. Your ability to be able to know what you can do and what you cannot do. Your ability to relate well with other people and contribute positively to society at large. So we all deserve that. And it's a basic universal human right because just like everybody, every human, irrespective of race, language, ethnicity, you deserve to have your mental health. But how can I get it? I know I deserve it. Now I know it's a right. How can I assess this right? So, the other rights, okay, I have freedom of expression. I can say whatever I want. I have, the rights to life. I can get out of my house knowing that I deserve to be alive and no one is supposed to interfere with that. But this right to mental health, is it a right that I can assert? Because the daily stresses of life are real. There are no jobs. People are hungry. People are in debt. People are in abusive marriages and relationships. People are struggling with infertility. People are struggling with other illnesses that will also then come and affect their mental state. These things are real. So is it really a question of rights? Because how can I assess it? How can I, in spite of all the challenges that life presents, how can I still ensure that I can cope and be okay? Okay, so you need to know that you are human. Even machines break down. So no matter how busy you are, what is expected of you, what your workload may be, you need to respect the body, the biological clock. You don't work 24 hours and expect the body to still be functioning well. So you need to have periods where you take rest, breaks, holidays, leave periods where you rest to allow your body to recuperate. That is why we all need at least, as adults, 6 to 8 hours of sleep in a 24-hour cycle. So you need that. And as part of contributing to your mental health, we all need to have good social support systems. Yes. People you can call on, systems that protect you. And in Ghana, Africa, for example, we used to have that a lot, but we are losing it to westernization, where you have friends, family, who can always check up on you, who you always check up on. So those are some of the things. And of course, daily exercise, routine exercises, eating well. These are ways you work towards maintaining your mental health.
eating well.
Yes.
As in eating enough, or you do a formation 0-1-0 because you know that's what's going on now. No, realistically, there are people who some of the things you've recommended as how to cope with mental health struggles, like get enough rest,
Yes.
like don't work all day, like have people you can call on to talk to.
Yes.
These are actually the things they do which would result in their mental health struggles. Let me explain. I once knew a girl who slept way too much. She was always sleeping. And I later found that she was struggling with depression. And that was some kind of a coping mechanism, but it only worsened things for her because she got nothing done. You know, she lost her job and things. So she was always sleeping. She'll go to work, she'll sit at her desk, and then in a few minutes she gets up and goes to the toilet. And she sits there and sleeps.
Okay.
You know, and she was just doing that constantly. And then there are other people also who just work to avoid their mental problems. So, you know, they're always looking for something to do. They finish one project, they want to go on to the next because that's how they also cope. Would these things further worsen things for you if you are that kind of person?
Okay, so those are not healthy coping mechanisms. So you said she had depression. So the symptoms of depression are a lot. One of them is oversleeping. Some people are not able to sleep well. So the oversleeping is actually a symptom of the depression. And there are other symptoms like feeling sad, losing interest in things you used to like, becoming forgetful, feeling hopeless, worthless, feeling helpless, and just getting easily tired with the least amount of effort that you engage yourself in. So the oversleeping is not a coping mechanism. It's a symptom of the depression that she's going through. And we don't take the symptoms in isolation. It has to be a cluster of symptoms over a duration. For depression, it has to be at least 2 weeks. Then we say you have a depression. And for that, she will need to seek help immediately. See a health professional, any clinic, any hospital near you. You are likely to be referred to see a psychiatrist, and then we carry on from there. The one you spoke about who works all day to kind of cope with it's also not a healthy coping mechanism, because severe stress or prolonged stress is a high risk factor for you developing any of the mental illnesses, any of them. So that person is actually worsening the possibility of them developing complicated mental illnesses.
But that's what gives them happiness, you know. So the constant successes will give them happiness. So I finished this project, I'm starting this other project, and then I'm doing this other project. And the constant, you know, wins and the games make them happy. And that's how they cope. I know a lot of people in our space, in my space, our industry, who do that. You know, I'm going to MC this event here, and then after that, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do my fitting, and then after that, I'm going to host this event, and they're going, and they're making money, which is also an important thing for your mental health. I saw a post on Twitter this morning which said that we need to add Momo to the list of medications for mental health.
Momo is a good one because it gives you involuntary smile. So talking about the wins, yes, success is a good thing. But you see, if you do it to the detriment of your health, it's not good. Now you talk about those of you on the screens, like social media and all that. There are a lot of people on the screens who smile to the camera, who look happy on social media, but are suffering privately, silently.
Isn't that everybody?
Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Okay.
People show near perfect life, relationship, life, school, work, as if everything is okay with them, as if they have the blueprints to life, but they're actually having difficulties and challenges privately in their life.
Okay, I think this is a good time for us to activate our phone lines so that some of our viewers can ask you questions. I have way too many questions. I don't want to exhaust them. So if you're watching us and you feel that you might be struggling with any of the mental health conditions that you are aware of or even are not aware of and you're not sure, you can call our doctor. He's here to help us today, and he'll be able to answer your questions. Anything, if you're feeling too sad, if you are not sure what is going on, sometimes you are happy and the next moment you are angry and screaming at your partner and kicking the dog, and people who have done nothing to you, or you're at work and you're constantly unproductive, but you didn't used to be like that, and you have any questions, or you just generally want to talk to someone this morning about anything that you might be going through, you may call us. You don't have to share your name if you'd like to keep your problem anonymous. We're happy to have you. We already have a first call on the line. Hello? Hello? Okay, our first caller has gone off, but you can call us again. You know, we can keep it anonymous. Just call and tell us what you're going through, what's happening, and our doctor is here. He will help where we can, right?
No problem.
We'll help where we can.
No problem.
Awesome. People who have attention deficit problems, do they also have a mental health condition?
Yes, the mental illness is a wide spectrum from childbirth, from when you are young, babies, all the way to old age, dementia, and all that. It's a whole a wide spectrum from children with autism, ADHD, dyslexia, all the way to what you already know, depression, very common, bipolar, any of the psychotic illnesses, all the way to dementia, all of those ones, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. So it's a wide spectrum. And what we all need to know is it's not too far from anybody, and almost every family has somebody who may currently have it, who has had it and is on medication, or may likely have it in the future. So it's not too far from any of us at all. We all need to show love to people who have any mental illness. And on days like this, that's what we try to advocate for.
All right, we have a call on the line from the Volta region. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Miss. You're welcome to the show. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm great. Our doctor is here and ready to listen to you.
Come again.
Our doctor is here and ready to listen to you.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mental issues in the country, especially about our work. Working in Ghana is so stressful. Managing it with your family, especially as a married woman, it's really, really stressful. As concerning our health sector, sometimes they will say you should go here, your family is here, you have to go work, come back and take care of your family. It's really, really stressful.
What is your...
So it got to a point when I get to work, I'm totally off.
Oh.
I don't even think. I don't even know what I'm doing as a health worker.
I'm sorry about that.
Hello?
I'm sorry about that. We can hear you. So
I think in Ghana we should make health a priority, mental health a priority, so that they'll know what to do for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Miss, for calling us. So she's speaking specifically to the health sector, which you work in.
She's a married woman working and schooling. So the stress levels from work, from home, and from school. And of course, there may be some financial stressors. So all these ones accumulating together to worsen, increasing the risk of her developing any of the mental illnesses.
So how is she supposed to cope? What is she supposed to do?
Manage her time well, have periods of rest. The body needs some rest. You can't continue all day, and she needs some support systems. In the past, we used to have our mothers and our grandparents with us, so they'll help you with the kids.
But now they are working.
Exactly. So that's where the stress is compounded. So you need a house help or somebody to help you with some of the activities at home. And at work, we all need to upgrade ourselves, have delegate people to do the work with you together. You don't have to do everything and always be the one doing everything always.
I tell you what, I was speaking to a group of Gen Zs, and I spoke to them because they had gone for an interview with a woman who had given them the opportunity to work, I think from 10 a.m. to about 4 p.m. daily, which is shorter than the regular time. You know what, I'll come back to my story, but I have a call on the line. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Our doctor is here and ready to listen to you.
Okay. I don't know whether this one is also part of the mental health. Sometimes I like speaking to myself a lot, and that makes me happy. I don't know whether it's part of it. So I want to find out from the doctor whether it's real, it's normal. Sorry.
All right.
Okay, so that's a good question. We have introverts who prefer to just have little stimulation, want to stick to themselves. But as normal human beings, no human survives in isolation. We all need to interact, social interaction. So the fact that she's not almost always out there doesn't mean she may necessarily have a problem. However, if this keeping to self, that self-isolation, is a sudden change in her normal routine from when she was younger, then there may be a problem. If that she's always been, but she's able to interact with neighbors, with work colleagues, with wherever she is, then there's no problem. But if it's a sudden change, this is not how she's been, what we call pre-morbid state. If this wasn't how she used to be, for example, if I know you to be lively and bubbly, and all of a sudden you don't want to talk to anybody anymore, and you are keeping me more to yourself, and you are feeling sad on the inside, and you cry sometimes without any provocation, then we know there's a shift from your normal self. Then she will need to seek immediate medical attention.
She has to go and see a doctor.
That is why I said it possibly could be a problem if it's a shift from what she used to be. And even if you are, no matter how introverted you are likely to be able to interact normally with your work colleagues, neighbors, and friends as well. But if it's a shift from what she used to be, how people knew her to be, how she knew herself to be.
You know, I know someone who's normally very happy.
Yes.
But I think when she's ovulating or during her period or something, she becomes totally uninterested in any kind of human interaction. But she's always been like that. So she's fine for 3 weeks, and for 1 week, she doesn't want anybody. If you talk to her, she's going to, she's highly irritable.
Yeah.
So I've known her for a long time, so I know that's the way she is. So someone who is like this, so at a particular time this is the way they are. Is that also a mental health situation? Should I be concerned, or because it's normal, she's been like this, it's okay?
Okay, so it's related to her menstrual cycle,
Yeah.
which means it's caused by the hormones, all right, the hormone surges and the dips. Now, if it affects her normal life, work, relation with other people, then there could be a problem, because there's something called premenstrual dysphoric disorder.
Yeah, PMDD.
It's real, and if the symptoms are worsening over time and it affects her work, her relation with other people negatively, then we are thinking about a problem.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So it does affect her relationship with people, but then I know that in 4 days she'll be fine.
If she's okay with it, she just needs to be assessed to be sure there's no problem. It's better to find out there is no problem than to wait for it to get complicated, because
All right.
PMDD is very real. It happens.
I think we should have a full conversation on that.
No problem.
I was about 34 years old before I discovered that there was a thing called PMDD.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, are we doing any activities today to mark World Mental Health Day?
Yes, today. So I work in Kolebu. Today we have a public lecture by one of our renowned, heroic, senior most psychiatrist in the country, Prof. J.B. Asari. He's giving us a public lecture at Kolebu in our new building, the Melody, at 2 p.m. The weekend we had a walk, a health walk in Kolebu and its environs. And throughout the week, we're going to have some senior high school mental health sensitization. Wesley Grammar, I'm an old student from there. And then, of course, Accra Academy. We're going to have those health educations during the week as well.
Okay, Doc. Thank you so much. God bless you for the good work you're doing. And I look forward to having more conversations with you soon. I've been speaking to our specialist psychiatrist, Dr. Sedohia. And he's been bringing us all the information we need to know about mental health. It's World Mental Health Day today. So please Google it and read about it and also be informed. By the way, some friends of mine are riding bicycles from Accra all the way to Tamale and back. The Zen riders, and they're riding for and because of mental health. I've been joined on the line by one of our ladies. Hi.
Hi, Na.
How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm fine too, by the grace of God, and I'm very happy to be talking to you. I heard about your ride. It's about 1,500 kilometers, isn't it?
1,300 kilometers.
From Accra to Tamale and back. Are you professional
Yes.
riders?
No, none of us are. We are all ordinary people who have been training for the past 4 months. We do have 2 professional cyclists who are coaches, but apart from that, we have Michael, who is an entrepreneur. There's myself, there's Julius, and then there is Pius, who's an architect, and then there is Enoch, who is a security guard. So really, we are just ordinary people.
I see. I think this is very fascinating. I recently did a 7-kilometer ride during the last cycling contest, and it was not easy at all. So doing 1,300 kilometers is really something. And you're riding for mental health awareness, you said?
Yes, we are.
What drove you to do this?
So today is Mental Health Awareness Day, Mental Health Day. And as part of the initiative, we started as a fun club. And then we decided to ride specifically to raise awareness on mental health. You know, we've actually come to the realization that in these parts of the world, mental health is not really known. And also the awareness bit, you know, is not very, very known in these parts of the world. So we came together to say, how about we do something, we have an initiative that throws more light on mental health. So apart from the physical wellness that is given us, the main initiative was to raise mental health awareness. We're also looking at life holistically, right? Yeah, the physical one gives us, makes us look good, it keeps us well. But we've also linked to mental health is to make sure that we are all mentally sound, you know. So some of the exercising is really a good form of keeping in shape mentally, physically, and all that. So we're trying to look at it holistically. As we embark on the journey, it's fun, we're educating ourselves, and we are most importantly throwing light on mental health awareness.
Wow. I co-sign. I think this is very commendable. Well done.
Nana, I
And
think you join us. No, I follow you on all your your Instagram, everything, exercise. It would be good to have you on this trip next year. Definitely, I'm giving you that
please
invitation.
give me your dates and let me
Yeah,
go and pump my bicycle tire.
absolutely.
Have you settled on the dates?
Yes, we are starting on the 1st of November and we are coming back on the 11th of November
This year.
this
First,
year.
first to 11th. So 11 days
Yes,
of riding
yes,
from Accra to
yeah.
Tamale. Do you have any police assistance? Are you going to be safe? Is this a safe venture?
Absolutely. Our safety is number one. So we will have everything. We will have an ambulance. We will have a police escort. We have we will have everything. Our safety is number one priority. So we've actually done a lot in planning the logistics to make sure that we are actually very safe, go riding back, going to Tamale and back.
All right. Now, there are people who are watching who might want to join. Is this open to other riders and cyclists to join? And how many kilometers would you be riding per day?
Okay, so unfortunately, you can't join on this trip because, you need to be physically, mentally prepared for it, right? We've been training for the past 4 months. We wake up at 4 a.m., we go to Legon and cycle for about an hour every day. Last Sunday, we actually went to Mount Runabout and came. So we've been training. So if you
Okay.
want to join, I think we will open it up next year for a
All
lot
right.
of people to. So if you
Okay.
go on our handle, zenriders.com, you can join us. My personal handle is also Anita Solomon on Facebook. And we also have Don Miller, who is our leader. He's on Facebook. And you can join us for next year to train for this.
Well, I shall join you next year. I shall join you next year. I've started riding 2 kilometers every morning, which isn't so much, but 1 year is enough time to prepare. So we wish you all the best. We'll be watching and supporting and cheering you on. You're doing this for a very good cause, and I'm all for fitness for mental health. And so God bless the good work you're doing, and we look forward to talking to you after the 11th of November when you return.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
My pleasure. So the Zen riders are riding from Accra all the way to Tamale and back for 11 days. They're doing this because it's Mental Health Day today, and they're trying to raise awareness about mental health, which is very important that we talk about because we do not talk enough about it in Ghana. So support them, follow them, and next year we shall join them. Amen? Amen. Next, I'm going to be speaking to our queens. I've been looking forward to this conversation. On Sunday, our queens were crowned at the finale of Ghana's Most Beautiful, and they're here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.